Hi everyone, good evening. Hope you're well. So it's exactly 5 o'clock in the UK and probably 10 o'clock at BD time. So first of all, I'd like to ask you a question is, can you hear me properly? If you can, please type in the chat box yes. And today's class is gonna be very, very important because today we're gonna learn how to ask deep questions. That's all about today's class, how to ask deep questions. So do you know the meaning of interrogation? If you know the meaning of interrogation, can you please type in the chat box? I'd like to see if you exactly know what's the meaning of interrogation. Very quickly, please type in the chat box. So I can see a lot of comments here. Just I'd like to make the things okay. So Zahan said assalamu alaikum. Walaikum salam. Okay, so the question I'm asking you is, thanks for joining. I can see a lot of students are joining right now. So if you know the meaning of interrogation, please type in the chat box. I'd like to see exactly if you know the meaning of interrogation. So, good evening. Yeah, I'm very well. Thank you. Thank you for asking. So quickly, please type in the chat box. What's the meaning of interrogation? I'm going to give you 30 seconds to write it down. What's the meaning of interrogation? So before that, just would like to recap what you have covered in last classes. So the first class was all about subject plus be verb, and we have practiced a lot data structure, and then we gave a presentation. And in the second class, we have learned a structure is subject plus verb, and we practice a lot, and we made a lot of sentences using data structure. And you have given a presentation. That means what do you do every day? And in the third class, we have learned so many things about another structure, that is what does your favorite person do every day, right? So please type in the chat box very quickly. I'd like to see if you exactly know what does interrogation means. Very quickly, please type in the chat box. I'd like to see what does interrogation means. Another structure. So very quickly, please type in the chat box, what does interrogation means? Okay, so once I see the answer, then I'll just continue. Just let me see the answer. Okay. So please type in the chat box what's the meaning of interrogation. I'd like to see, then I will quickly go over to the class. So, okay, interrogation means asking a lot of questions, especially if you're caught by police. What happened next is police take you to the police station, and they ask a lot of issue questions. They interrogated you. For example, if you're a victim or if you're some sort of recur people by police station, then it's going to happen. So after enjoying today's class, definitely I can tell you that you will not face any problem to ask questions. Whatever the questions you'd like to ask, you can ask. Right, so are you ready? If you're ready, please type in the chat box ready. I'd like to see how many of you are really ready right now. Please type in the chat box. How many of you are really ready right now? Very quickly, please type in the chat box. Okay, so I can see a lot of comments right now. I'm not sure how did I miss it. So interrogation means questions. Can you please type in the chat box? Interrogation means questions. Okay, now if you know the meaning of interrogation is questions, interrogation মানে হলো অনেক কিছু জিজ্ঞাসা করা, especially police officer তারা এই ওয়ার্ডটা ইউজ করে যে we are interrogating these people, right? So interrogation means questions. So today I'd like to start this class with a story of interrogation, and this is from my life. Would you like to know this story? If you'd like to know this story, please type in the chat box story. I'd like to see how many of you would like to know the story from my life. I mean, that's all about interrogation. So I'm going back to 2000, I think 14. So, my story. So I came to UK to study at Birmingham City University in business, in international business. I finished my course, then I moved to 2 years work permit that was called post-study work, in short PSW. Then, and I had some sort of options to move forward, but I have chosen entrepreneur visa. So if you know the meaning of entrepreneur, please type in the chat box. What's the meaning of the entrepreneur? So quickly type in the chat box, what's the meaning of entrepreneur? So I made application for entrepreneur visa and it took a lot of time. So all of a sudden I got a letter from Home Office, right? So Home Office is the organization who provide you visa. So I got a letter from Home Office and they said they would like to see me, right? Basically, they invited me for an interview because they thought they need to do the genuinity check, whether I am entrepreneur or not, I have got some sort of skills or not. So that's why I got invitation from Home Office and they gave me time and date, and they also told me to confirm them, sending an email that I have received the letter and I'm coming to see you for the interview. Right, so yeah, that's right, Muhammad Ali. So entrepreneur means Uddokta. That's right. So that's the visa I have applied for, to be an entrepreneur. And then I went to in London, central London. I had so many, I would say, preparation for that. I have contacted a lot of people, who are expert in this industry, like immigration. And I also invited my friends as well to ask me a lot of questions, because when I went to the solicitor or lawyer, they gave me frequently asked questions. So Home Office, they didn't interview me only. They interviewed like 100 of his, applicants before. And what happened is next is, so Home Office, when they take the interview, they will send you a copy in your conversation. So by this way, every applicant has got their questions. And so I have collected so many questions and I invited my friends. I said, you are the Home Office officer, so ask me questions. I'd like to answer it. Right. So it's going to happen in your life as well. When you get the CAS interview, interview with university. So, our team, they will give you some sort of frequently asked questions. You will go through it, then you will make your own answer and you practice with your team as well. This is how it gives you the best result. So I'm really blessed that I have got some friends I invited for tea and coffee, and I gave them the sheet of frequently asked questions, and they asked me a lot of questions and I answered them. And I said, how do you feel about my answer? They said, yeah, great. That's not right. You can tell this instead of telling that. And I had a lot of notes even. And so this is the way to do better in your exam as well. You can do in IELTS as well, inviting someone else to do the group study. That's going to help. So long story short, so I went there and the Home Office officer, they said, okay, Mr. Habib, thank you for coming. Can you please take your seat in the waiting room and one of our officers will call you. And someone called me after like 10-15 minutes, and then I went to see that Home Office officer, and they said, can you please see there is a small room over there? I said, yeah. And they said, there's gonna be virtual interview. One of our business experts, she's waiting for you. Go there. Do the sound test. Speak for 1 or 2 minutes, and when you're ready, let them know that you're ready. Then the interview will be started. Right. So I was nervous. Now I'm smiling. Right. That time, what? So I was very nervous, but I had some sort of confidence that I practiced so many questions, and I know about my business, what I'm doing right now. So I think I believe I can answer them. So type in the chat box, guys, how long they take my interview? Type in the chat box, how long did they take my interview? Type in the chat box, guys, and answer me. Is it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, whatever? Type in the chat box. I'd like to see, what do you think about the Home Office interview? So I took a seat in front of the computer like this. and I have seen a beautiful lady sitting over there. And he said, "Hi, babe, this is Amanda, and today I'm your interviewer, and I'll ask you a lot of questions, and please answer me slowly, and I'll record all your answer. By the way, so the video is recorded as well. So if I mean running a bit slow, then I'll ask you to stop so that I can record all your answer, and then I'll ask you next questions." And basically, she had a questions, something like this, and she's asking me one by one, right? So thank you for responding. So SS can say 20 minutes, okay, 15 minutes, 1 hour, okay. No, it was 95 minutes. So I was supposed to have interview for 90 minutes, but I had for 95 minutes, right? So 95 minutes is a long time. Can you imagine? So someone is interrogating you about the business for 95 minutes, right? So she started introducing herself, and she said, "Can you please introduce yourself?" And then she said, "You applied for business visa and an entrepreneurship visa. So I'd like to ask a lot of questions about the business, about the skill, about the personal life and all that stuff." But I was lucky that this is the one more thing is, so there is no shortcut of hard working. So when I studied at university, I did my dissertation. So dissertation, if you don't know the meaning of dissertation, is kind of assignment. So I had to write like 13,000 words, and I had to bind as a book, and I need to submit it. That's called dissertation mainly. So yeah, so who are the beginners? Just I'd like to say, so home office অনেকগুলো কোশ্চেন করলো, এবং আমি খুব লাকি ছিলাম যে আমার মাস্টার্স আমি ফাঁকি দিইনি। অনেকে আছে না যে টাকা পয়সা দিয়ে অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট করিয়ে নেয়, some of the students, they pay some money to someone else and they get the assignment done. So when I did my dissertation, I did a lot of things by myself. I used to go to on the road and I filled out the questionnaires. I asked a lot of questions, these and that. And the lady was so impressed having interview with me. And she said, I asked, "Thank you. Do you have any questions?" And I asked only a single question, that when I'm gonna get the report or result from you. And she gave me a smile and she said, "Habib, don't worry about that. I'll send the report to your caseworker, and you're gonna get your result as soon as possible, probably 30 days to 45 days. And I said, "Okay, thank you so much for having me." And when I left the interview room, and I just looked at my watch, and I saw, oh my God, it was 95 minutes. So there was a lot of questions. They asked me, "Why did you apply this business? Why did you apply this for business visa? What sort of business you would like to do? What sort of skills do you have? Why you would like to do that? Why don't you think about other business? Why do you think you have got this skill? Why do you think you're gonna succeed in your life through this business?" Right? It's called interrogation. So you understand what do I mean by interrogation. So the purpose of having or the purpose of telling you the story of my interrogation is to understand that you need to you need to be prepared for integration in your future life. It might be from police station, it might be like me from home office, it might be whatever the reason. So after having today's class, you'll be able to ask a lot of questions like a police officer or army officer who is going to do interrogation. So I believe that you're going to enjoy this class. Before that, I'd like to ask you, so you have already enjoyed 3 classes with me. So how did you find that? Can you please type in the chat box? Was that okay? Was that excellent? Was that outstanding? Type in the chat box very quickly. I'd like to see your feedback. And then I'd like to, improve myself as well as a teacher, as a mentor, as a trainer. So today, before starting this class, just I'd like to ask you a question. So who submitted the homework? Can you please type in the chat box me? I'd like to see how many of you have submitted your homework. If you have submitted your homework, please type in the chat box me. If you haven't submitted your homework, please give me the reason why didn't you submit your homework. I'd like to read everyone else's comments because that's very important. In the previous day, I gave a live and I said, don't come to the class if you don't finish your assignment, your presentation, your homework, because otherwise you will not get benefited out of this course. Okay, I can see a lot of students, they are typing me. Thank you for responding. So Muhammad Ali, thank you. for submitting. Rami Begum, thank you for submitting. Jahan, thank you for submitting. Esris, thank you for submitting. Chaudhary, thank you for submitting. Shaunata, thank you for submitting. Babu, thank you for submitting. Jihad, thank you for submitting. SK Khan, thank you for submitting. Okay, thank you so much, and I mean it. And I'd like to see why didn't you submit your homework. So if you haven't submitted your homework, please write down a reason, either in Bengali or English. I'd like to know. Definitely, I must know why haven't you submitted your homework. That was easy. We practice a lot, right? So if you don't follow my instruction, you are wasting your time. So it's better to leave the class. So make sure you submit your homework. Okay, so Monica said today I was very busy for import from UK. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Okay, if you're busy at the end of the class, just pick up the phone, right? So record it and just upload. And if you don't have time to upload it, just go live. Go to the group, then press the button live and say, hi, my name is Habib. Today, I'll share with you what does my favorite person do every day. So my favorite person is my dad. Da, 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 da. Keep going, right? So you should. So Ariful Islam said, I'll submit it tonight. Okay, thank you for responding. It's very important. So it's better if you submit your homework every single day. Don't leave behind like, okay, tomorrow I'll submit 2-3 homeworks. No, don't do that. That's gonna reduce your quality of your work. So do everything on time. Okay, and the next questions I have asked you last class, and same question I'm gonna ask you. Probably you might guess what I'm gonna ask you. So who shared the class number 1, 2, and 3? So if you have already shared class number 1, 2, and 3, please type in the chat box. I'd like to see how many of you have shared class number 1, 2, and 3. And I gave 3 reasons why you should submit your why you should share this class every single day, right? So can you please type in the chat box shared? So I'd like to see how many of you really shared the class. So if you don't know how to share it, or if you don't find it, that's fine as well. So what I'm gonna do, I'll show you one of the. I'll show you in a minute. I'll show you in a minute. So now I'm just sharing my screen so that you can see it. Prince Ashraful Chaudhary said I shared. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. And if you haven't shared it, so please type in the chat box. What's the reason you're not sharing it? Give me the reason. So I have, okay, so I shared my screen right now. So probably you can see it. So all you got to do is you need to go to your phone or computer and you need to click this share button, right? So once you click this share button, you're gonna get a link. You see the link? So you need to copy it and then you need to go to your Facebook group. So I'm going to my Facebook group right now. And what I'm gonna do, I'll show you how to share it. So I'm going to my group. Come on, internet, speed up. Okay, so this is how I need to share it. So SK Khan said I shared. Thank you, Khan. Sami Ahmed said share. Thank you so much. Rami Begum said share. Thank you so much. Siri says sorry, I forgot. Okay, don't worry. Please share today. Hussein Ahmed said I shared class number 3. Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing. So just in a minute, I'd like to share you how to share it. So then all you got to do is you need to go to your Facebook and just, yeah. So paste the link. I'm going to share you one more time. So once you go to your YouTube where you are watching this class, and you need to click on share. And then once you see the copy, just copy it and then go to your Facebook and just post it, right? So paste it and post it. And also, if you really understood what I mean by that, please click on the like button. So here, just click on the like button so that I can see you understood. Okay, so I'm not sure. I think you didn't see it. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I need to show you one more time. So how to share it. So if you go to YouTube, I think you can see it. So you need to go to YouTube. You can see the class is live right now. So you need to click on share button here, and then you can see it's a link and it's a copy. So copy it, then go to your Facebook. Once you go to your Facebook, right? So let me see if it comes up. Okay, so now I'm going to my profile, and you see what's on your mind, and I'm sharing it. So what's this? So this is how I need to share, right? So if you'd like to write down something, you can write as well, and it's shared. So this is how I need to share. So thank you for listening to me. And as you understood that how I shared on my profile, you got to do the same thing once you finish your class, right? So make sure you do it. So I can see a lot of comments here. Monirul Islam said, I don't share because I'm so busy. Monir, it takes 30 seconds to share it. If you give me excuses, I'm not buying it, right? This is a good English as well. So if you don't agree with someone else, you can say, I'm not buying your words. I'm not buying it, right? So however, let's go to the class, today's class. Before going to today's class, I'd like to ask you some questions, if you still can remember. So can you please type in the chat box, what was the structure number 1? Very quickly type in the chat box, structure number 1. Very quickly, please type in the chat box, structure number 1. So structure number 1 was subject plus be verb, right? Subject plus be verb, structure number 1. Quickly type in the chat box, sub plus verb, be verb, sub plus be verb, right? So what was the structure number 2? Type in the chat box, please. There was subject plus verb 1. Quickly type in the chat box, subject plus verb 1. Subject plus verb 1. Right? So the first structure was subject plus be verb. Second structure was subject plus verb 1. Third structure was do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. So I'd like to see everyone else this structure on the chat box. Very quickly type in the chat box. Subject. First structure was subject plus be verb. Second structure was, can you please write down this 3 structure in one comment? One comment. Subject plus be verb, structure number 1. Subject plus verb 1, structure number 2. Subject plus do plus subject plus verb plus question mark, structure number 3. So these are the 3 structures we have covered, right? Thank you. Muhammad Ali says share. Thank you for sharing, Muhammad Ali. Right. So yeah, I'd like to see these 3 structure at a time. Don't send like structure 1, structure 2, structure 3. So type 3 structures together and just send it, please. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you for typing. So Monica, that's right. Do plus subject plus verb 1 is structure number 3. I can see. Okay, got it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I repeat. Structure number 1 was subject plus be verb. Structure number 2 was subject plus verb 1. Structure number 3 was do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark, right? So that was the structure number 3. So dear beginners, যদি আপনি আমাদের কথা এতক্ষণ যা বলছি না বুঝে থাকেন, সো আমি জিজ্ঞেস করেছিলাম আপনাদেরকে 3টে স্ট্রাকচার শিখিয়েছি প্রিভিয়াসলি, এই 3টে স্ট্রাকচারটা কি কি একটু আমাকে কমেন্টে লিখে জানান। সো ফার্স্ট স্ট্রাকচার ওয়াজ সাবজেক্ট প্লাস বি ভার্ব, second structure was subject plus verb 1, third structure was do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Okay, thank you. So Monica, thank you very much for sharing that. Thank you Ariful, thank you Prince, thank you Babu, thank you Islam, thank you everyone for sharing the structure. So now can you remember the last structure was do plus subject plus verb 1. That means do, subject I, we, you, they, he, she, Tony, and then verb 1. So we practice like, do I speak, do you speak, do you speak, do you speak, do they speak, does he speak, does she speak, does it speak, does Tony speak. Can you remember? If you still can remember, please type in the chat box, yes I do. Do you remember? If you remember, please Answer me in the chat box how to answer it. Do you remember? So do, subject, verb 1, question mark. So do I speak? Do you speak? Do you speak? Do they speak? Does he speak? Does she speak? Does it speak? Does Tony speak? So when you get he, she, it, Tony, we use does instead of do. So dear beginners, যখন আমরা he, she, it এই চারটা সাবজেক্ট পাই তখন do এর পরিবর্তে আমরা does ইউজ করে ফেলি। So that was the basic structure. That was structure number 3, right? So now we're gonna learn how to ask deep questions. So if you'd like to ask deep questions, we need WH words. Can you please type in the chat box? WH words. Type in the chat box very quickly. I'd like to see your answer. So if you'd like to ask deep questions, you need to use WH words. So my question is, what do you need to use for deep question? Type in the chat box. Deep question তৈরি করার জন্য আমাদের কি দরকার একটু আমাকে একটু chat box এ লিখে জানান। Okay, I can see. So দ্রুত একটু chat box এ লিখে জানান যে deep question করার জন্য আমাদের কি দরকার? WH word. Okay, thank you. So Adnan said WH word. Thank you. Said who, what, where, when. Thank you. Thank you for responding. Yeah, that's right. Shanzan said WH word. Thank you. Mohammad Ali said WH words. Thank you. Lucky said WH word. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's right. We need WH words. So now today, what are you gonna use? We're gonna use the same structure. So last structure was do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. This time we need to put WH before do. Do এর পূর্বে আমাদের কি ইউজ করতে হবে? একটা WH ইউজ করতে হবে, WH words. So can you please type in the chat box WH plus do plus sub plus verb 1 plus question mark. Everyone else, please give me this structure. Structure number 4, deep questions. How to ask deep questions. If you follow this structure, voila, you got it. You know how to ask deep questions, right? So please type in the chat box WH plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Very quickly, please type in the chat box WH plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to type it. Then we're going to jump into the structure to practice it. So let me find out my what is called presentation so that I can show you and we can practice together. Very quickly, please type in chat box. WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Excellent. Thank you, Jahan. Thank you, Arif. Thank you. I'm not sure how to say your name. Darkest Spy Official. Right. So Abnan Ria, thank you. WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Dola said WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Excellent. Thank you. Oh, you got it. WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 question mark. Thank you. Rubel said WS plus do does plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rubel. Yeah, that's right. So when you get he, she, it, Tony, we use does. Okay, thank you. Thank you for responding. So now what I'm going to do, I'll share my screen and I will practice according to this structure. So are you ready to practice? Type in the chat box, ready. I'd like to see how many of you are really ready to practice this structure. Can you remember? I told you learning, practicing, and presentation. So these are the 3 steps you're going to follow through this course. So once you follow this 3 steps formula, you will be able to speak fluently. You'll be able to speak naturally. So make sure you utilize this opportunity. Right. So this is how it's going to be. Okay. Now I'm going to share my screen so that you can understand. Here you go. I'm sharing my screen. Okay. So these are the structure. That was the structure number 3. Do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Right. So can you please practice with me one more time? The last structure we practiced yesterday. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I can see a lot of students are really ready to practice with me. Let's do it. So now, so the structure is do plus subject plus verb 1, right? So we're going to make a lot of questions and make sure if you make a lot of questions, you got to have some sort of intonation. So Can you please type in the chat box what I just said? Intonation. So আপনার কণ্ঠে একটা টোন থাকতে হবে যে আপনি কোশ্চেন করতেছেন। আমি যদি বলি do I practice, it's a sentence, it's a statement, but the question, the tone should be something like this: do I practice, do you practice, do they practice, does he practice, does she practice, does Tony practice? So this is called intonation. So you need to press the word do you, do they, does he, does she. So when you ask a question and the listener, they have got a tone, okay, he's asking me a question, yeah, I should answer it, right? So this is how we need to practice. So ekটু আমরা tone দিয়ে, intonation দিয়ে আমরা practice করব. Ready? 3, practice with me. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Do I practice, do you practice, do you practice, do they practice, does he practice, does she practice, does it practice, does Tony practice, right? This is how you need to ask question with a lot of energy, right? So now, how many of you made 9 sentences? Please type in chat box 9. I would like to see very quickly how many of you made 9 sentences. যারা 9টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করে ফেলছেন according to this structure, আমাকে একটু 9 লিখে জানান কমেন্ট বক্সে. Okay, so now we're gonna move a bit forward. Now I'm gonna show you structure number 4. So WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. So that was the structure and you got it. Now according to this structure, we will practice a lot. We'll practice such a way after finishing this class so that I can ask a lot of questions, right? So thank you for responding. Jahan said 9 sentences. Arif said 9. Okay, thank you, Arif. Thank you, Rami Begum. Thank you, Muhammad Ali. Thank you. Right, so I have seen only how many? Like 7 or 8 comments, but here like around 30 students, right? Don't be a spectator, be a player. Can you remember the difference between a spectator and player? A spectator, they watched the football match, and player, they played, right? So a spectator, they don't get any benefit out of it until you are a gambler, যদি আপনি জুয়ারি না হন, right? But player, they make money, they do the physical exercise, they get most benefit out of it. So be a player. So if you're enjoying this class, if you are attending this class, make sure you're a player, not a spectator. So type in the chat box, who are you? Are you a spectator? আপনি কি দর্শক? Or are you a player? আপনি খেলোয়াড়? Type in the chat box very quickly. I'd like to see fast. Are you a spectator or are you a player? Quickly type in the chat box. Are you a spectator or are you a player? So if you are a spectator, you are not getting any benefit. You are a player, you're going to get a lot of benefits, like the football player, making money, doing physical exercise, reputation, So yeah, that's right. So I can see a lot of players here. Thank you. You are the challengers, right? So now we're going to practice with why. So we're going to start with the why, and we're going to make a lot of questions, and then we're going to go for the next one, right? So don't go how, where, when, how long. Start with why. Just I would like to highlight it so that you can see it. Why? So listen to me fast. How we gonna practice it? So why do I practice? See, just I'm following the sequence. WS, do, subject, verb 1, question mark. এই সিকোয়েন্সটা কি করতে হবে? আপনাকে ফলো করতে হবে। এইটা দিয়ে আপনি প্র্যাকটিস করে যখন কোশ্চেন করবেন, আপনার কোশ্চেন হলো কারেক্ট questions, right? So if you don't follow this structure, you are making a lot of mistakes. And dear IELTS candidates and dear challengers, dear beginners, dear intermediate level students, dear advanced level of students, you got to practice this structure so many times so that you become so confident to ask questions, anybody else, any sort of questions. Do you understand? If you really understood, please type in the chat box understood. I'd like to see how many of you really understood. Please type in the chat box understood if you really understood. So we're going to practice with this. Why do I practice? Why do we practice? See how I'm going? So I'm just observing the flow. Why do I practice? Why do we practice? Why do you practice? Why do you practice? Why do they practice? Does he practice? Why does she practice? Why does it practice? Why does Tony practice? Right? So this is how I need to practice. One more time, I'll tell you. Listen fast. Then we're going to practice together. Right? So প্রথমে আমাকে শুনেন, then আমরা একসাথে practice করব. Ready? So why do I practice? Why do we practice? Why do you practice? Why do they practice? Why does he practice? Why does she practice? Why does it practice? Why does Tony practice? Right? So যখন he, she, it, Tony আসবে তখন do কে আমরা does বানিয়ে ফেলবো, does, third person singular number. So why does he practice? Why does she practice? Why does it practice? Why does Tony practice? So learning, right? So it's done. আমাদের শেখা হয়ে গেছে. Now second step is practice. Are you ready to practice? Are you ready? I'd like to see who are ready to practice with me. Type in the chat box very quickly. Me, just M-E, me. Very quickly type in the chat box. Who would like to practice with me? I'm gonna give you 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 10 seconds gone. So you're gonna practice. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Loudly. Why do I practice? Why do you practice? Why do you practice? Why do they practice? Why does he practice? Why does she practice? Why does it practice? Why does Tony practice? Right? Thank you. Thank you for responding. So practice with me one more time. One more time. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Why do I practice? Why do you practice? Why do you practice? Why do you practice? Why do they practice? Why does he practice? Why does she practice? Why does it practice? Why does Tony practice? Right. So how many sentences have you made? Can you please type in the chat box? Type in the chat box. How many sentences have you made? How many sentences have you delivered? It's not about understanding the whole thing. It's about practicing and delivering the sentences, right? Eta ব্যাপার না যে আপনি এটা বুঝছেন কি বুঝছেন না, right? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't give you any sort of benefit until you know how to make questions and you can deliver. আপনি অনেক কিছু জানেন ইংলিশে, কিভাবে নেগেটিভ সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করতে হয়, ডাবলস কোশ্চেন দিয়ে কিভাবে তৈরি করতে হয়, বাট আপনি যদি এটা ইউটিলাইজ না করতে পারেন, মুখে যদি প্র্যাকটিসে না আনতে পারেন, কোনো লাভ নেই, রাইট? সো দ্যাটস হোয়াই ইউ শুড প্র্যাকটিস উইথ মি, and you should practice with me with a lot of energy. I told you, go in a quiet room, single room, shut the door, and practice with me loudly, right? So thank you for responding. I can see a lot of students, they made 9 sentences. Now challengers, I'm going to give you a challenge, and you know what the challenge is. The challenge is you got to tell me 9 sentences in one breath. এক নিঃশ্বাসে 9টা সেন্টেন্স বলতে হবে, right? So let me try it fast, then I'll ask you to do the same. Before that, I need to take a sip of water, right? So একটা ভালো একটা এক্সপ্রেশন শিখে গেলেন যে আমি যখন পান করতেছিলাম তখন আমি বলতেছিলাম just let me take a sip of water, right? Sip of water, right? So anyway, so we're gonna practice, right? So ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Why do I practice? Why do you practice? Why do you practice? Why do you practice? Why do they practice? Why does he practice? Why does she practice? Why does it practice? Why does Tony practice? Right. So thank you for practicing with me. Now type in the chat box 9:1. If you made 9 sentences in one breath, and if you have taken 2 breaths, please type in the chat box 9:2. I'd like to see how many of you made 9 sentences in one breath, 9:1, and how many of you made 9 sentences in 2 breaths, 9:2. I'd like to see. So quickly to আমাকে chat box জানান, how many of you made 9 sentences in 2 breaths and in 1 breath? Okay, Ariful Islam, congratulations, 9:1. Tasrin, 9:1, thank you. She's 9:1, thank you. Ariful Islam, thank you, 9:1. Like you said, 9:2. You need to practice, Lucky Begum. Sanjan, 9:1, thank you. So okay, so Dola asked you, why do you use you twice? Because you singular, apni ba tumi, and you plural, apnara ba tomra. So that's why we use twice. You singular, ekjon byakti, one person, you plural, one more people, right? So that's why we use you twice. Okay, so I can see a lot of students, they made 9:1. Thank you very much. Now, if you practiced a lot, we're gonna practice it how? Same way. So let me read out fast. Listen to me fast. Then we're gonna practice together. So how do I practice? How do you practice? How do you practice? How do they practice? How does he practice? How does she practice? How does it practice? How does Tony practice? Right? So how do I practice? How do we practice? So this is how you need to follow this structure. Now, excuse me, we're gonna make 9 sentences using how. Ready? Ready? And speak loudly with me. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. How do I practice? How do you practice? How do you practice? How do they practice? How does he practice? How does she practice? How does it practice? How does Tony practice? Thank you. Thank you for practicing with me. Now, the second time you're going to practice, but we will make 9 sentences in one breath. Are you ready? Are you ready? Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. How do I practice? How do you practice? How do you practice? How do they practice? How does he practice? How does she practice? Yep, go on. Go on, I'd like to see. Thank you. Keep practicing. Keep saying. Yeah, how does he practice? How does she practice? How does it practice? How does Tony practice? Thank you. Thank you for practicing with me. Now, the next one is where. From now on, don't say where. Say where. এখন থেকে আমরা কি বলবো না? Where বলবো না, বলবো where. Where do I practice? Where do you practice? Where do you practice? Where do they practice? Where does he practice? Where does she practice? Where does it practice? Where does Tony practice? Right. So this is very, very important. This is very, very important that you pronounce the word right way, because especially the IELTS candidates, there are some sort of score in your pronunciation as well. So make sure it's not accent. It's not. It doesn't matter whether you use British accent or Indian accent or Bangladeshi accent or American accent. Whatever the accent, that's absolutely fine. There is no mark for in IELTS for accent, but there are some sort of marks for pronunciation. So make sure you pronounce the word right way. Right. So from now on, we don't say where, we say where. Right. So practice with me one more time with where. Ready? Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Where do I practice? Where do you practice? Where do you practice? Where do they practice? Where does he practice? Where does she practice? Where does it practice? Where does Tony practice? Thank you. So if you made 9 sentences using where, please type in the chat box where. যদি আপনি where দিয়ে 9টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করে থাকেন, আমাকে একটু where লিখে জানান chat box এ. I'd like to see your comment. I'd like to communicate with you, right? I'd like to communicate with you. By the way, you have got an announcement for tomorrow, and that's gonna be very good news. I would say great news for you. So tomorrow, what's gonna happen? Are you really excited to hear that? Are you excited to hear that? What's gonna happen tomorrow? If you're really excited, please type in the chat box excited. Type in the chat box excited. I'd like to share with you what's gonna happen tomorrow in a minute. Type in the chat box excited. Okay, so tomorrow, your class is gonna be the most important class in your life. Can you remember I told you my story? আপনাদের কি মনে আছে আমার স্টোরি কথা? So one day I went to a seminar. One of my students invited me, and I took a lot of notes. At the end, I raised my hand and I asked, "So can I get my money back?" And that time, you know, I didn't. What should I say? I was not that much confident to ask the right question. So I made a mistake. I said, how can I get my money back? And they said, what? What's your question? And I said, sorry, I didn't mean that. I was asking, so after investing £9,750, once I finish my course, go to work permit or finish my course, can I work and can I save some money? And can I, get my 9,750 back? Like this. And they said, yeah, that's a very good question. So once you finish your course, there is something called PSW. Once you jump into PSW, just think about this. If you save £1,000 a month, working full time, so you're gonna get 2 years of permit. So answer me in the chat box. So if you save £1,000 per month, and if you work 24 months, how much is altogether? Type in the chat box. I'd like to see if you know how to do the calculation. যদি আপনি মাসে 1000 পাউন্ড করে সেভ করেন ফুল টাইম জব করে, দেন 2 বছরে 24 মাসে আপনি কত টাকা সেভ করতে পারবেন? টাইপ ইন চ্যাট বক্স very quickly. So if you save £1,000 per month, how much money you gonna save in 24 months? Type in chat box very quickly. So I asked this question and they said, just think about this. If you save £1,000 per month, at the end of the 2 years, you're gonna save 24,000, and that's gonna be around 30 lakhs in your BDT, right? Bangladeshi taka sheta kotho hobe 30 lakhs. I said, wow, this is not a brainer. So if I don't take this opportunity, I'm stupid. Just I started thinking that I'm going to study at UK University, right? And I'm not paying all the money together. I'm just depositing £3,000. And then once I fly, I'm going to study there. I'll do part-time job. I'll save some money as well. And I'll give the rest of money in installment. And this is how I'm going to finish my course. Then I'll jump into post-study work. I'm going to work full-time 2 years. Then I'll save some money. Then I'll do something else. And you know the rest of the story. I moved to business visa and got settlement, applied for British passport as well. So that was my thinking, right? So yeah. So a lot of students are saying £24,000. Thank you, Jahan. You did right. You are very good at math. I can see a lot of students they're very good at maths as well. Wow. Yeah. So that was around 30 lakh taka, right? So yeah. So tomorrow you're gonna have a seminar, and basically that's not a seminar. That's a class. So at the end of the class, you need to give a presentation. You know, our team, they're gonna give you the whole information, step by step. What do you need to do? Step number 1 to step number 10. They're gonna give you each and everything by a chunk size so that you can digest it. So আমাদের টিম কি করবে? আপনাদেরকে আগামী ক্লাসে পুরো সেমিনারে একটা ক্লাসে আপনাদেরকে সমস্ত ইনফরমেশন দিয়ে দিবে যে আপনি এখন কি অবস্থায় আছেন, আপনার কি করা উচিত, কোথায় কত টাকা লাগবে, কোথায় সার্ভিস ফি কত, এনএইচএস ফি কত, ভিসা ফি কত, কত টাকা ব্যাংকে রাখা লাগবে, আমি কি আমার ওয়াইফকে সাথে নিতে পারবো কিনা, হাজবেন্ডকে সাথে নিতে পারবো কিনা, আমার ছেলে মেয়েকে সাথে নিতে পারবো কিনা. So all the questions our team will answer, right? So who's going to attend tomorrow's class? Please type in chat box. I will. I'd like to see how many of you would like to attend tomorrow's class. And I'm going to cordially request you, if you miss any class from me, you miss something is recorded, that's absolutely fine. But tomorrow's class, there will be something very, very attractive. You know what is that? You will be able to speak face-to-face virtually. So our team will request you to download the Zoom app right now. I mean, after the class, not right now. And so that at the end of the session, they will give you the link, like pasting here. And then you can join to the Zoom video call. And there's going to be like 3-4 rooms. One room would be for UK student consultancy. Second room would be for Canada. Third room would be the USA. So for example, if you'd like to study USA, you're going to join the USA room. If you'd like to study Canada, you're going to join Canada room. If you'd like to study UK, you're going to stay in UK room, right? This is how. Can you imagine? You're going to talk face to face with our team. So if you miss tomorrow's class, you have missed everything. Type in the chat box. How many of you would like to join tomorrow's class, get all that information, utilize it, and boom, succeed in your life, right? So I believe that. And if you ask me, how much do you believe? 100%. I believe that if you join tomorrow's class, if you take notes, and at the end of the class, you will understand everything. What do you need to do? You're gonna get your map, blueprint. You're gonna get your map, how to reach your destination. If you understand me what I just said, please type in the chat box map. After finishing tomorrow's class, you will get a map, your own map. It's not my map. It's not someone else's map. It's not your dad's map. It's not your mother's map. It's your map. It's map of your life to go to your destination. So type in the chat box very quickly, map. And that class that's going to be amazing. So after finishing this class, I had feedback that thank you so much for giving so much information, because if you go to a consultancy firm, they will tell you, okay, I need to open a file, give us money. And how much? 20,000. They take your money, probably next time you're not going to see them. So this is how students are cheated in different locations. এইভাবে স্টুডেন্টরা কি করে? প্রতারিত হচ্ছে। So we would like to make sure you know the exact information, right information, true information. Right. So you're gonna get your map. And at the end of the class, probably there are a lot of students here. Still they are confused. Should I go to UK? Should I go to Canada? Should I go to USA? So we're gonna present 3, like apple, banana, and mango. And we're gonna say these are the features, these are the benefits. And you're gonna fit in which one you'd like to. So at the end of the class, you will understand, okay, this is my scenario, this is my position, this is my financial background, this is my condition of finance. I should go to UK, or I should go to Canada, or I should go to USA. Clear? So you're gonna get your map tomorrow. So make sure you come on time, you bring a lot of energy, you listen to them properly, you take notes, you take your questions as well, note down your questions as well. And once our team will give you the Zoom link, you're gonna jump in and you're gonna ask the questions. Right? So tonight or tomorrow morning, please make sure you download an app. It's called Zoom. So don't be misunderstood. So from the very beginning, the class will be like this on YouTube. And after finishing the presentation, then our team will give you the link and you're going to join to UK, USA, and Canadian room. Okay. So if you're clear, please type in the chat box clear. I'd like to see how many of you are really, really clear what's going to happen tomorrow and why it's so important. So if you have got any friends, who are doing IELTS, XYZ Center, or who are, struggling to get offer letter, who is, seizing the student consultancy firm or agent for getting the offer letter, visa, you can invite them as well. You can tell them that, I'm doing a course and tomorrow would be a very, very important class. Where to go, UK, USA, or Canada. So they're going to give all the information, and obviously they're going to be benefited out of this. So make sure you invite your friends as well. So how many of you'd like to invite your friends? Please type in the chat box. How many of you'd like to invite your friends? Type in the chat box. So if you'd like to invite your friends, please type in the chat box, friends. Type in the chat box, friends. So make sure you invite your friends as well, because they will get an opportunity to ask questions directly to our student consultants from Bangladesh, Dhaka, Sylhet, India, Pakistan, and from UK. Right? So make sure you invite your friends. So yeah, just type in the chat box. If you'd like to invite your friends, please type in the chat box, friends. Thank you. Thank you for responding. Now we're going to go to the thing when. So we're going to practice it when. Right? So it's going to be, oh my God. So we're going to practice it when. So make sure you practice with me. So it's the same thing, when. So when do I practice? When do we practice? When do you practice? When do they practice? When does he practice? When does she practice? When does it practice? When does Tony practice? Right? So we are not saying when, we are saying when. When, not when, right? When. So now, can you please just practice with me using when দিয়ে একটু আমার সাথে একটু সবাই প্র্যাকটিস করেন। আমি যখন বলবো গো, আমার সাথে প্র্যাকটিস করবেন। রেডি? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. When do I practice? When do you practice? When do you practice? When do you practice? When do they practice? When does he practice? When does she practice? When does it practice? When does Tony practice? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So, dear viewers, if you are enjoying the class from my Facebook profile, just I'd like to let you know that we have got a English course. It's called Speak English in 12 Days. So if you're watching from there, I'm cordially invite you or your friends, family members who need this course. All you got to do is you need to join on our YouTube channel. It's called Hassle Free Education. All you need to do is you need to go to YouTube, and on the search button you need to type Hassle Free Education. So every single day at 5 o'clock we start the class on live. So you are most welcome to join the class, right? So thank you for watching from my personal profile. Anyway, so we have practiced with when. So this time we're going to practice 9 sentences in one breath, right? 9:1. So are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. When do I practice? When do you practice? When do you practice? When do they practice? When does he practice? When does she practice? When does it practice? When does Tony practice? Right? So thank you. Can you please type in chat box quickly? How many of you made 9 sentences using one breath? So please type in the chat box 9:1. Type in the chat box 9:1. Yeah, I'd like to see how many of you made 9 sentences in one breath. Quickly. Thank you for responding. So now we're gonna go to the next one. How long? Kotokkhon? Koto shomoy dhore? How long? So how long do you practice? This is a question. How long do you practice, right? So we're gonna start with I. So how long do I practice? How long do you practice? How long do you practice? How long do you practice? How long do they practice? How long does he practice? How long does she practice? How long does it practice? How long Tony practice? So this is how I need to practice. So make sure you practice this. How long do I practice? Right? So let's start. We're going to practice together. I'm actually to practice with it. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. How long do I practice? How long do you practice? How long do you practice? How long do they practice? How long does she practice? How long does it practice? How long does Tony practice? Thank you for responding. So next one and last one is which means konti, right? So after which we put a noun. Always after which we put a noun. So for example, which bottle do you use for drinking water? Whose phone do you use? Which pen do you use? Which clicker do you use? Which mouse do you use? Which diary do you use? So after which we always put a noun. Can you please type in the chat box? After which, what do you put? Which এর পরে আমরা সব সময় কি বসাই? আমাকে একটু chat box এ লিখে জানান. After which we put a noun. Which এর পরে কি বসাই? Noun. So please type in the chat box. After which, what do you put when you ask a question? যখন আমরা ইংরেজিতে কোশ্চেন করি, which এর পরে কি বসাই? একটু দ্রুত আমাকে একটু chat box এ লিখে জানান. Thank you for responding. Thank you. You're awesome. Brilliant. So now, so here we can put which language. So which language do I practice? Which language do you practice? Which language do you practice? Which language do they practice? Which language does he practice? Which language does she practice? Which language does it practice? Which language does Tony practice, right? So after which we always put a noun. So which country, which course, which university would like to study, which date would like to sit for IELTS test, right? This is how we make a lot of questions. Clear? So after which we put a noun. Thank you for responding. You are a player, not a spectator. Thank you. So now we're going to practice with which language. Are you ready? I know you are ready. So practice with me. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start loudly. Which language do I practice? Which language do you practice? Which language do you practice? Which language do they practice? Which language does he practice? Which language does she practice? Which language does it practice? Which language does Tony practice? Thank you very much for practicing with me. Now this is the time. So we have practiced this pattern. I would recommend you to practice this structure at least 20 times at home. What do you need to do? You need to change the verb. Change the verb one. So I'm changing the verb one. Speak. So just change the verb and practice with all of them. So why do I speak? Why do you speak? Why do you speak? Why do they speak? Why does he speak? Why does she speak? Why does it speak? Why does Tony speak? Right? So change the verb again. Understand. So why do you understand? How do you understand? Why do you understand? When do you understand? How long da, 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 right? So study. Why do you study? Just practice one by one. So change the verb and then keep practicing. Change the verb, keep practicing. Change the verb, keep practicing. So can you please take a screenshot? So I know you are using a smart mobile phone. Just if you can just press the button and take a screenshot so that you can practice it at home, right? This is very, very important. This structure, 90% students, especially the intermediate level of students, they make so many mistakes using this structure. So I would definitely recommend you, it's not about learning, it's not about knowing, it's about practicing, so that when you practice, you can make questions quickly, right? So এই স্ট্রাকচার আপনি জানছেন সেটা বড় কথা না, আপনি প্র্যাকটিস করতেছেন এবং আপনি এটা ইউজ করতেছেন, আপনি ইউজ করতে জানেন কিনা সেটা হলো ব্যাপার। সো in a moment we're going to use this structure, in a minute, right? In a minute we're going to use this structure. So I have got a question. Can you remember that I have told you that repetition is the mother of all skills? Repetition is the mother of all skills. আপনি যত রিপিট করবেন আপনার স্কিল তত পোক্ত হবে, পাকা হবে, right? So the more you're going to practice, the more your skill will be developed. So make sure you keep repeating. So that's why it's called repetition is the mother of all skills. So I hope you watch the recorded class every single day, 2 or 3 times, right? So how many of you watch the replay? Type in the chat box replay. কারা কারা রেকর্ডিং ক্লাস দেখেন? যদি রেকর্ডিং ক্লাস আপনি দেখে থাকেন তাহলে একটু আমাকে টাইপ করে জানান replay. I'd like to see really how many of you keep repeating the classes. So can you remember I told you, so if you go some sort of courses and if you go through first time, you learn 60 to 70% and 30% is missing. If you go for second time, you learn so many things. If you go for the third time, you learn 100% or probably 98%, right? So how many of you watch the classes, recorded classes? Type in the chat box replay. I'd like to ask you one question. So when you watch replay, please type type replay in the comment box, right? So that I can understand you watch replay. এখন থেকে আপনারা যারা recorded class দেখবেন তারা একটু টাইপ করবেন replay, যাতে আমি বুঝি যে আপনারা replay class দেখেন, right? Thank you for listening to me. And now we're going to utilize the structure, fourth structure, right? So now I'd like to take a test. Are you ready for test? Are you really ready for test? Please type in the chat box ready. Okay, so the test I'm going to tell you is, can you remember what's the structure number 4? Type in the chat box very quickly. I would like to see if you still can remember what's the structure number 4. Type in the chat box very quickly. I'm really eager to see your comments. Type in the chat box very quickly. What's the structure number 4? Write down the structure. আমাকে একটু 4 নম্বরের স্ট্রাকচারটা লিখে জানান very quickly. Right. So yeah, thank you for responding. So now I'll ask you a few questions according to this structure. You need to answer me in the chat box and don't play shortcut. Give me the full answer. Okay, I can see who is the first person. Dashin, congratulations. Thank you. Who plus subject plus who plus do plus subject plus verb one plus question mark. Thank you. Still you can remember. Prince Ashraful said who plus do plus verb one plus question mark. Thank you. I'd like to see how many of you are really can remember what's the structure number 4. Who plus do plus subject. No, Muhammad Taha, you made a mistake. WS plus do plus subject plus verb one plus question mark. Excellent, Dark Spy. So Mukhlisin said, okay. Rami Begum said, wow, WS plus do plus verb one plus question mark. Excellent, thank you. Still you can remember. Lucky Begum said WS plus do plus subject plus verb one plus question mark. Excellent, thank you. Zia said WS plus do plus subject plus verb one plus question mark. Thank you for responding. I'd like to see everyone else comment so that I can understand still you can remember, and you can practice it, you can utilize it, and you can ask question using this structure, right? So if you don't remember the structure, go back to this lesson, listen to it, right? Practice it using this structure. Just as I told you, change the verb, keep practicing. সবগুলো দিয়ে practice করেন. When, why, how long, সবগুলো দিয়ে practice করেন. আবার ভার্বটা চেঞ্জ করে দেন, আবার সবগুলো দিয়ে practice করেন. Why দিয়ে নয়টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করেন, how দিয়ে নয়টা, how long দিয়ে নয়টা, where দিয়ে নয়টা, which language দিয়ে নয়টা. আবার চেঞ্জ করেন ভার্ব, আবার চেঞ্জ করেন ভার্ব, আবার. Just keep continuing, right? So কততে আপনি ইংরেজি বলতে পারবেন না? অনেক স্টুডেন্ট আছে আমাদের, সে এই ক্লাসগুলো করে শেষ পর্যন্ত বলে যে স্যার আপনি কতভাবে দেখাই দিয়েছেন যে কিভাবে প্র্যাকটিস করতে হয় বাসায়। আগে তো জানতামই না কিভাবে ইংরেজি প্র্যাকটিস করতে হয়। আগে মনে করতাম যে আমার স্পিকিং পার্টনার ছাড়া হবেই না, চলবেই না, টিচার আমার সাথে সব সময় থাকা লাগবে। বাট আপনি যেই স্টাইলে, যেইভাবে আপনি দেখিয়ে দিয়েছেন, I don't need anyone else. I can practice myself, right? Don't get me wrong. If you get a speaking partner, it's gonna help you a lot. It's gonna help you to become more fluent, but still you can practice, right? So আমি আপনাদেরকে যেইভাবে আপনি আমাদেরকে দেখান সেভাবে যদি করি তাহলে বিভিন্নভাবে প্র্যাকটিস করতে পারি। Okay, so someone said, Ariful Islam, Arif said, you don't read my comment. Arif, I just read it, right? So thank you. Okay, got it. So this is how I need to practice. So now I'm going to ask you a few questions according to this structure. I need to answer me. First question is, do you learn English? Answer me in the chat box. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to answer it, and answer me in a long sentence. Do you learn English? Very quickly, please type in the chat box. Answer me in English. Do you learn English? Answer me. আমি আপনাকে একটা কোশ্চেন জিজ্ঞেস করছি, do you learn English? এখন আপনাকে কি করতে হবে? আমাকে আনসার করতে হবে। So beginners, I'm trying my best to help you out, starting from various class, right? একদম শুরু থেকে আপনাদেরকে শিখাচ্ছি। যারা বিগিনার আছেন যাতে কোনো ব্লেম না করতে পারেন যে স্যার অনেক অ্যাডভান্স লেভেল শিখায়, আমাদের পাত্তাই দেয় না, right? So dear beginners, this is for you. This is the course, and I know the advanced level students, they'll get benefited anyway from this class, but I'd like to make sure you understand, right? So যারা ইংরেজিতে দুর্বল আছেন তাদের জন্য আমার ক্লাস, make sure you stick to the class and you finish the class successfully. And I'd like to see your presentation every single day as well, right? Don't think I don't look good. আমি দেখতে সুন্দর না, দেখতে ভালো না, ভয়েস খারাপ, ভয়েস শুনতে ভালো লাগে না, আমার ভালো মোবাইল নেই. Don't make any excuses. Just do the presentation, right? And remember one thing, nothing gonna happen in your life until you make a decision. The decision is, I'm gonna do it. Do you understand? The decision is, I'm gonna do it. Nothing gonna happen in your life until you make a decision. Can you remember about my life, the experience I have shared with you? I made a decision that I'm going to learn English. For whatever the reason, I was kicked out from my class not to understand the meaning of what is called embargo, right? আপনারা সেই স্টোরি জানেন যে আমার ক্লাসে একজন টিচার ছিলেন, আমেরিকান ভদ্রলোক, পিএইচডি করে আসছেন আমেরিকা থেকে। সে ইংলিশে লেকচার দিত। তার ক্লাসে একটা নিয়ম ছিল যে ক্লাসের সময়ে কোশ্চেন করা যাবে না, যখন ক্লাস শেষ হয়ে যাবে তখন কোশ্চেন করতে পারবেন। But I was so into it that I couldn't resist myself. I just raised my hand and I said, sir, excuse me, didn't understand. What do you mean by embargo? সে তৃতীয় বিশ্বযুদ্ধ পড়াচ্ছিল, আমি এমবার্গো যে ওয়ার্ড সেটার মিনিং জানতাম না। And he was furious. He was very angry. He said, get lost from my class. Take the bag. Leave the class right now. And he started shouting at me, and I was insulted in front of the class. And I just took my bag and I left. And that day I made a decision, I'm going to learn English. Right? So I know you have got a lot of reasons to learn English. So make sure you got a reason. You know why you'd like to learn English. So I made a decision that I'm going to learn English. Then I made a decision that I'm gonna study my master's in the UK. Then I made a decision I'm gonna stay in this country. I'm gonna get settlement. Then I made a decision I'm gonna make so much money, bunch of money, so that I can help myself, my friends, my family members, and yeah, we are making so much money. Right? So nothing gonna happen until you make a decision. So now I've got a question to you. Have you made a decision yet? Have you made your decision yet? So please type in the chat box if you made a decision yet. Type in the chat box, I made my decision. I'd like to say how many of you already made a decision. Please type in the chat box, I made my decision. I made my decision. Whatever the decision you made, type in the chat box. For example, it might be I made my decision to learn English, whatever it takes. So type in the chat box, have you made a decision yet? Simply just type in the chat box, yes, I made my decision. Okay, so if you made a decision, that means you are not allowed to miss even a single class. You are not allowed to not to practice. You are not allowed to not to give a presentation. So you got to give a presentation because you made a decision. You got to enjoy the class. You got to practice with me, right? So you already made a decision. I can see a lot of students, they made a decision. Congratulations. I'm your witness. আমি আপনাদের সাক্ষী যে আপনি decision made করেছেন. I'm giving you permission that go for it, right? As your teacher, as your mentor, I'm giving you permission. Go for it, fight for it, achieve it. Otherwise, no one can help you. And the last thing I'd like to tell you is, I can help you, I can guide you, I can mentor you, but I cannot work for you. I cannot do it for you, right? However, if you're stuck somewhere else, I can push you, I can help you, I can support you, but the person who can help you is the first person is yourself. So don't give any excuses, don't blame others, blame yourself. So if I ask you, I cannot speak English because of me, I don't have money because of me, I didn't have a good result because of me. So once you take the responsibility, you acknowledge it and you progress, right? So সবসময় যেটা করবেন, responsibility নিতে শিখবেন, own the responsibility. Just don't blame others, just blame yourself, and it's going to help you a lot to move forward. Okay, so now the first question I have seen is, you answer me. So the answer should be yes, I do. Do you learn English? Answer should be yes, I do. So the next question I'm asking you, why do you learn English? Type in the chat box. Long sentence, not shortcut. Why do you learn English? Type in the chat box very quickly. I'd like to see everyone else comment. Why do you learn English? Why? Why do you learn English? Type in the chat box. I'd like to see why. Why do you learn English? It might be something like this. I learn English because I want to study abroad. I learn English because I want to speak English fluently. I learn English because I would like to get a better job. I learn English because I want to teach English to my students. I learn English because I want to help my kids. I learn English because I would like to do business with foreign countries. I learn English because I would like to be a influencer. I learn English because I would like to be a freelancer. I learn English because I'd like to sell my service out of the boundary. Whatever the reason, please type in chat box. I'd like to see, why do you learn English? Why? Next question I'm going to ask you is, where do you learn English? Type in the chat box, where. So why do you learn English? আপনি কেন ইংরেজি শিখেন আমাকে একটু আনসার করে জানান ইংলিশে। Next question is, where do you learn English? Give me a full sentence, don't play shortcut. I'd like to see your answer. Where do you learn English? Okay, so I can see a lot of comments right now. Monica said, because It's an international language, and I'll be in good position. Okay. Shine in career life. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Claire said, I learn English because I want to study abroad. Okay, thank you for responding. Said, I try to learn English because I try to improve my skill. Thank you. Mohammad Ali said, I want to go abroad. Thank you. I would like to get higher education. Okay, thank you for responding. Yes, Khan said, I learn English because I want to go abroad for higher study. Thank you. Ariful said, I learn it because I want to a good job. I want to get a good job. Okay. Nakshikata said, I learn English because it's needed for any kind of opportunity. Okay, thank you for responding. Rokia Begum said, I learn English because I want to go abroad. Okay, so go to abroad now. Go abroad. Okay, so next question is, where do you learn English? Please type in the chat box. Where? কোথায় আপনি ইংরেজি শিখেন? Dola said, I learn English because I want to go abroad. Is smartness also. Okay, Prince Ashaful said, English 12 plus, that responsible. Okay, I learn English. Okay, next question is, where do you learn English? I learn English at Hassel-Free Education, right? So next question I'm going to ask you is, how long do you learn English? How long do you learn English? কতদিন ধরে আপনি ইংরেজি শিখেন? কত সময় ধরে আপনি ইংরেজি শিখেন? Type in the chat box. How long do you learn English? Very quickly, type in the chat box. How long do you learn English? Okay, Tasrin said, I learn English in Hassel-Free Education. It's better if you put at. We have got a class at preposition as well. So আমাদের preposition নিয়ে class আছে, pronunciation নিয়ে class আছে. So make sure you don't miss even a single class. I learn English at Hassel-Free Education. Okay, thank you. Thank you for responding. So next question is, how long do you learn English? How long do you learn English? Okay, so I learn English for 30 minutes. Give me a full sentence. I learn English for 2-3 months. Okay, thank you. Thank you for responding. Give me the full sentence. I learn English since 4 days. Okay, so since Saturday. I learn English. I learn English. Okay, thank you. Thank you for responding. Next question I'm going to ask you is, which country would you like to study? Which country do you like to study? Just I'm changing the verb. Which country do you like to study? Study. Which country do you like to study? Type in the chat box. Which country do you like to study? Which country do you like to study? Which country do you like to study? Okay, thank you. Thank you for responding. So now we're gonna move a bit fast. So I'm gonna give you a homework. We haven't finished your class yet, right? So we're gonna give you homework, then we're gonna practice something. That's gonna help you a lot. So the first question, first thing is, I'm gonna share my screen, and your next homework is a place you live. So now we're gonna start cue card, right? So how many IELTS candidates out there doing this course? Please type in the chat box IELTS. আমার এই জায়গায় কতজন IELTS স্টুডেন্ট আছেন যারা IELTS এর জন্য প্রিপারেশন নিচ্ছেন বা নেবেন বা কোনো জায়গায় ক্লাস করতেছেন? আমি একটু তাদেরকে দেখতে চাই। একটু কমেন্টে লিখে জানান IELTS. So how many students are there who are taking preparation or who would like to take preparation or who have been taking preparation for a longer period of time? Right? So please type in the box IELTS. So in IELTS, there are 3 parts, part 1, part 2, and part 3. Right? So one of the parts, there's going to be cue card. So basically, they're gonna, I'm gonna show you something. They're gonna give you something like cue card, and here you're gonna see name of a topic, like a place you live in, and then they're gonna give you pencil and a piece of paper. So you need to write down some hints. So what I'm going to talk about, the place I live. Place I live, that's my topic. So I'm just taking some notes, right? So what should I say about this topic, a place I live in, right? So now you need to talk at least 2 minutes. Okay, so I can see a lot of students are um, taking preparation IELTS. Okay, Mohammed Dalali say IELTS, welcome to IELTS. Thank you for joining. So it's going to help you a lot to get a better student IELTS exam. So you got a topic, and now all you got to do is you need to ask questions to this topic. So there are a lot of students, they say, you know, the problem I'm facing, I cannot generate the ideas. I said, okay, so what do you do? He said, I don't know. That's why probably I'm getting 4.5 in his IELTS speaking. I said, yeah, that's right. So if you don't know how to generate the idea, অনেক স্টুডেন্ট আছে যারা আমাদেরকে বলে যে স্যার আমি আইডিয়া জেনারেট করতে জানি না, এই টপিক সম্পর্কে কি বলবো, ইংরেজি টুকটাক পারি, আইডিয়া না থাকলে কিভাবে বলবো। So this is the class I'm giving you, how to generate the idea. It's going to help a lot. So all you got to do is you need to ask questions, W's question to this topic. So a place I live. So the first question is, can you please ask 3-4 questions to this topic? আমাকে একটু কোশ্চেন করে দেখান তো, এই প্লেস, a place you live, এই টপিকের উপরে কথা বলতে গেলে কি কি কোশ্চেন করা যায়, একটু আমাকে একটু চ্যাট বক্সে লিখে জানান, রাইট? ইংরেজিতে কি কি কোশ্চেন করা যায়, আপনি এই টপিকের উপরে কথা বলতে চান 2.5 minutes, কিভাবে আপনি এই টপিক সম্পর্কে কথা বলতে পারবেন? That's very important question. And if you know the answer, you know, if you know the answer, that means you can generate ideas. You can generate a lot of ideas so that you can just keep speaking on for 3-5 minutes, right? So type in the chat box what sort of questions you can ask to this topic. এই টপিকটাকে আপনি কি কি কোশ্চেন করতে পারেন আমাকে একটু দ্রুত চ্যাট বক্সে লিখে জানান। Is very vital for IELTS candidate. Key topic. Okay, so Shanza said, where do you live? Thank you for responding. Yeah, that's the question. So what else? Are key question kora jay? So where do you live? Where is this place? Okay, is there any historical place? Okay, thank you for asking. Where is it located? Excellent, thank you. Anybody else? Do you live with your family? Okay, you can ask. So a place you live in, do you live with your family? Okay, you can definitely ask these questions. What else? Ar ki question korte paren? Thank you, Sami. Where do you live? Yeah, make sure you put question mark. Where do you live? Okay, thank you. Yeah, these are the questions we can ask. So where do you live? Where is it located? Why is it famous for? Type in chat box. এই প্লেস কেন বিখ্যাত, এটা কিভাবে আপনি কোশ্চেন করবেন, এটা কিভাবে আপনি কোশ্চেন করবেন, why is it famous for, right? So this is how I need to ask question. So now I'm gonna show you some questions so that you can understand. Okay, how can I go this place? Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is the question you can ask. So the first question is, where do you live? Second question you can ask, why do you live there, right? Why do you live there? Next question you can ask, why is it famous for? Next question you can ask, do you have any interesting memory with this place? If yes, please share with us. So if you ask these 5 questions, you can speak for 5 minutes. You can speak for 5 minutes. So dear IELTS candidate, listen to me carefully. So যাদের আইডিয়া জেনারেট করার ক্যাপাবিলিটিস নাই, এতদিন জানতেন না কিভাবে আইডিয়া জেনারেট করবেন, তাদের জন্য একটাই পরামর্শ যে আপনি ডাব্লিউএস কোশ্চেন করেন। ডাব্লিউএস ওয়ার্ড দিয়ে কোশ্চেন করেন আপনার টপিককে, 3-4টা কোশ্চেন করলে আপনি এই কোশ্চেনের উপরেই আপনি আনসার করতে থাকেন, আপনার কিউ কার্ড শেষ। So to solve your cue card, what do you need to do? Type in the chat box. Cue card solve করার জন্য একটা টপিককে 2 থেকে 3 মিনিট কথা বলার জন্য কি করতে হবে আমাকে একটু চ্যাট বক্সে একটু লিখে জানান। Yeah, please type in the chat box. So very quickly, যদি আপনি একটা টপিক সম্পর্কে কথা বলতে চান, একটা টপিক দেওয়া হয়, তাহলে কিভাবে এই টপিকটার উপরে 2 থেকে 3 মিনিট কথা বলবেন? What do you need to do? What should you do? Type in the chat box. If you'd like to talk about the topic for 2 to 3 minutes, what should you do? What do you need to do? Type in the chat box. All you got to do is you need to ask questions with WS words. আপনার কি করতে হবে? শুধু কোশ্চেন করতে হবে WS word দিয়ে। Where do you live? Why do you live there? How long do you live there? Right? So why is it famous for? Do you have any interesting memory with this place? Please share with us. So this is how you need to ask questions, right? So অনেকেই বলবে যে আমি তো আইডিয়া জেনারেট করতে পারি না। আপনি যদি WS কোশ্চেন কিভাবে করতে হয় সেটা জানেন, আপনার আইডিয়া জেনারেটেড অটোমেটিকলি হবে। So please type in the chat box. Everyone else, I'd like to make sure that you understand it. So answer me questions with WS words. যেটা করতে হবে কিউ কার্ডকে কোশ্চেন করতে হবে, right? So is it clear? If you really understood, please type in the chat box understood. So dear students, I'm asking this question. So if you are seeking for IELTS test, you need to understand it. You need to face this. And most of the students, they struggle a lot to speak at least 2 minutes for the selected topic. And if you keep practicing like this way, take a topic, ask 5 questions, start talking about this topic, done. Go for the next one, done. Go for the next one, done. So this is how you need to solve the cue card. So please type in chat box understood if you really understood what I mean by that. যদি আপনি বুঝে থাকেন যে কিভাবে কিউ কার্ড অথবা একটা প্রেজেন্টেশন দিতে হবে, 3-4 মিনিট কথা বলতে হবে, type in the chat box understood. And inshallah, after finishing this course, you will not face any problem regarding the cue card. You will get the foundation, and the more you're going to practice with cue cards according to my instruction, you will see you are doing better, right? So you need to do this. So tomorrow is okay. So tomorrow, this is your homework. All you got to do is you need to speak 2 to 3 minutes, right? So all you got to do is you need to ask questions, you need to answer it, practice it standing in front of the mirror, upload your video in the same group, right? UK study visa. So yeah, that's the all about today's class. So make sure you attend tomorrow on time, and until then I would say goodbye, stay well. And before finishing it, I'd like to remind you one thing is please share this class. Please share this class so that other people can benefit out of it. We can help more people, right? So please share. So thank you everyone. And also the last second, I've got a question. So how did you find today's class? How did you enjoy it? আজকের ক্লাসটা আপনাদের কাছে কেমন লেগেছে একটু আমাকে কমেন্ট করে জানান চ্যাট বক্সে, so that I can understand I mean how much I have given you and how much you have taken from my class. Please type in the chat box. Okay, excellent or outstanding. একটু আমাকে ফিডব্যাকটা জানান, and make sure you share this class on your Facebook page. So thank you everyone. Make sure you submit your homework, a place you live in, ask 4-5 questions, give a presentation, and go for it, right? So tomorrow I would like to, okay, before finishing this, just I'd like to show you how to talk about this topic. So otherwise probably you will be struggling. Give me 1 second, just I'll share it here. Is so you need to start something like this. Hi everyone, this is Habib. Today I'd like to share with you a topic. The topic is a place I live in. The place I live in is called, his name is Harlow. It's 35 minutes driving from London. You can go by train, by bus, and by driving as well. So this is a beautiful small town in Essex. I live in this town because you know, my wife, she works in Stansted Airport. and I work in East London. So the place, I mean, Harlow is between these two places, and that's why I live in Harlow. And also some of my friends also live there. Once I finish my study from Birmingham City University, my friends, they invited me to live in Harlow. I came to them. I like this town, and since then I started living here. I think it's almost like 9 years I live in this place. So this place is famous for many things. So if you would like to go for a holiday, there is a place, it's called Marina Village. I mean, it's a beautiful place. If you go there, you'll see lake, hills, and there are a lot of boats over there. And you'll see a pub over there as well, dance club over there as well, whatnot. So yeah, sometimes, I mean, if I get time, I go there with my families. I sit in a pub, I drink tea or coffee, and sometimes lunch as well. Yeah, that's a beautiful place to visit. And also, if you'd like to see the old sculpture, especially in Essex, there are a few places in Harlow town. So yeah, you should visit there. And I have got so many interesting memory with this place, and I'm not sure which one I'd like to share with you. However, I'd like to share with you one still I can remember. The one was, I used to work in McDonald's, especially night shift. My shift used to start from 9 o'clock till 3 o'clock late night. So I used to work in a drive-through, and the drive-through means so you take order from the car passengers, and you order them, you give them food, take the money, and this is the activities you do in drive-through at night. So I served 2 police officers. They used to patrol at night. They ordered 2 Big Mac meals. I served them, and after serving them, my shift was finished. Then I changed my clothes and I started walking. And after, I think, 15-20 minutes, because my house was like 30 minutes away from McDonald's, my working place. So when I was walking on the road, the police car, they take U-turn and just stop in front of me, and they said, "Hey, gentlemen, why are you walking at night? Is there any problem? Can we help?" Right? So, and I was scared as well, seeing the police. However, this country police are very friendly. They are very helpful. And I said, "No, sir. Just I finished my work, and I'm just walking down home." He said, "What do you work?" And I said, "I work in McDonald's. I mean, 10 minutes ago, just I served you 2 Big Mac meals." And they said, "Wow, I'm so sorry. I couldn't recognize because you changed your dress. You look different when you're wearing the McDonald's dress." I said, "Yeah, that's right." And then they offered me if we can leave you at your home. I said, "No, it's just 5 minutes away from here. Don't worry about that. Thank you for asking." And so this is the interesting memory with this place. Thank you for listening. Did you get me? So if you just, count this to pause, how long I have been talking about this topic, right? So this is how you need to topic in your speaking, and you're gonna get 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever you deserve, right? So do you understand how to talk about this topic? So I'd like to see your presentation with a lot of information, a lot of fun, a lot of exciting things, and use some sort of connectors like, first of all, moreover, furthermore. এইগুলো একটু ইউজ করে বলেন, একটু বাড়িয়ে বাড়িয়ে বলেন, এইভাবে যাওয়া যায়, এইভাবে যাওয়া যায়, এত কিলোমিটার দূরে, জাস্ট ডিসক্রাইব ইন ওয়ার্ডস। আপনাকে বর্ণনা দিতে হবে ওয়ার্ড দিয়ে। সো আপনার বর্ণনা শুনলে যেন সে দেখতে পায়, ওকে, ও এটা এরকম, এটা এরকম, এটা এরকম। সো রাইট, সো জাস্ট show them picture by your words. I believe that you understood how to give a presentation. So tomorrow I'd like to listen about the place you live in, right? So please talk to 2 to 3 minutes and make sure you come to the class on time. Thank you very much for joining today. I got to go. See you tomorrow, same time. Bye-bye.